Hello guys, my name is Sneakymode and this video is about why I don't like Skyrim. Nothing you do in the game affects anything else in the game whatsoever. That's it. You can close the video now, but if you want to hear me ramble on a bit more about it, then stick around. Also, this will contain story spoilers, so be warned. Now, don't get me wrong, Skyrim is a great game. It has a beautiful world, has a lot of quests inside and outside of its very smart radiant quest system, in which the game has a set of superfluous fetch quests which are repeatable, which is exactly what the entire game is. The entire game is designed to trick you, by immersing you and making you feel like you actually matter in its world, which I suppose in and of itself is actually a good thing, that I can achieve that, but after having sunk 70 hours into the main story alone, and more hours just running around the world making a difference to the natives of Skyrim, I've come to a shocking and abrupt realisation that nothing I had done in my adventures in Skyrim actually had any effect on the outcome of the game at all. All of those side quests lead to nothing but sometimes a nice piece of loot, but mostly just an hour or more of running to a place, fighting some mobs, finding the secret lost treasures of Tamriel and returning them to some guy who didn't seem that invested in reclaiming his lost items in the first place. The entire main quest was on rails from the start. If you ignore all of the side quests in the game, which I believe you can do, you'll soon realise the story is about as in-depth as the latest man-shoot warfare game. Then the more you look at it, you begin to notice even the characters are lifeless at best. They don't ever seem worried that a dragon is systematically taking over Skyrim, as they stand there with a blank look on their face waiting for me to do all the work. Every Jarl seems uninterested in the player, every main quest character seems to shrug off the imminent doom that hastens upon them, and every other non-essential character just stands around waiting for you to initiate some random pieces of dialogue in which you'll be sent off into another fetch quest for some, and you guessed it, invaluable item. The game is just a series of fetch quest after fetch quest, and then the entire main story is a fetch quest as well. First you need to fetch the Greybeards, and then you need to fetch a horn to prove you are the Dragonborn, and then you need to fetch Esbern, and then you need to fetch a few things at some snotty upper class party, then the Imperial and Stormcloak leaders, then back to the Greybeards. It's ridiculous. I am the Dragonborn, I have the blood of the Dova. I'm here to slay dragons, and yet I'm treated like some misnomer peasant, incapable of even forging the tiniest of steel daggers. I am reduced to merely running after people or items or to places and back and doing what I'm told, like a good Dova kid. The first thing the Greybeards do is make me prove that I am the bloody Dragonborn, and even after they have more than enough evidence, they still treat me like a schmuck nobody. The Blades are no better. In fact, the only truly interesting character in this game is Paarthurnax, and yet even he sends you off on a fetch quest. Now the reason Paarthurnax is so interesting is, for starters, he is a friendly dragon who speaks English, in the same vein as someone like Shakespeare, although suited to the Elder Scrolls lore. He engages you in a very in-depth and detailed conversation. He wants to know about you, he wants to understand and respect you, and all he really wants in return is for you to reciprocate that. But alas, the game must press on and he must send you on a quest to find invaluable lore item number 56. It's a shame to suddenly realise this, because up until last night I had it in my head that I saved Skyrim and I felt like I'd made a difference. I also had it in my head that I was sold a game that would let me shape my own journey and for my own kind of Dova bro, but in the end all I played was a linear game in disguise, thrown off by a plethora of side missions and places to explore. No single character in the game has stuck with me. I can't remember most of their names or even their voices. Barely any of the missions are memorable to me, save for anything involving Paarthurnax for the reasons I already explained. This is upsetting though. The whole time I was being duped, played like a fool, and I fell for it. At no point while playing did I feel like I was actually doing the same missions or with a different skin, different characters, different dialogue. There was never a time where I said option A please instead of option B, and then had that change the game in some way. I went with the Dark Brotherhood my first run through the game, and all that involved doing was some quest for them and then never interacting with them again, and nothing I'd learned during that time changed the main quest for me. I chose to kill certain characters who in the end were cared about by nobody and had no repercussions for killing them at all. I hadn't done a single thing to change the fact that in the end all I had to do was follow the rules set by a few very annoying NPCs and then fight another generic dragon fight, only to return to the land of Skyrim feeling like I had fought any other dragon in the game. Even after I slayed Alduin and reported to the appropriate characters to confirm that I had just saved all of Skyrim and in turn all of Tamriel, even then nothing had changed. Everyone in the world around me was just as skeptical or uninterested in me, and not one single person had changed their already mundane tasks in the light of their new freedom brought on by me, the true Dovahkiin. Nothing I had done in the last 70 plus hours of gameplay meant a thing to anyone, not even myself. I was left wandering the roads of Skyrim thinking to myself, is that it? And yes, that was it. As fleeting as the previous fetch quest for Mr. Boring NPC, the boss fight was over and I was left to simply round up any quest I'd missed and then quit the game never to touch it again. Like I said, Skyrim is a good game, but now I realise that it is a good game to look at, and it's nice to think about all the spoils it promised, but sadly it did not deliver. For these reasons I have to say I do not like Skyrim, but I do quite fancy what it was trying to be. Maybe next time, Bethesda. If you agree, guys, or if you don't agree, feel free to leave some comments below. I'm more than happy to discuss this with you. I just wanted to share my opinion of the game, and I feel like I done a good job of doing so let me know in the comments what you think of the game, and what you think of my view on it. And yeah, I'll see you all later.